The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back. What's up, guys? Well, I said, let me go live tonight for an hour or two, see what's going on out there. I haven't went live for a while and chopped it up with you guys. So I figured, let me see who's out there. I see Joey D's out there, Gino G, Pat Trivellino, Joey Knuckles, bang. Let me see who else is out there. I need my glasses for this. Gene Gordillo, Don Berlin. What's up, Don? I had a great Father's Day. I hope you have one too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link. You guys can come on. Let's chop it up for a little while. I got about an hour, hour and a half. I haven't spoke to Joey D in a while. I see Don Berlin. I haven't spoke to Don Berlin. I'm just going to talk about what I got coming on, what's going on. I got some guests coming on. I'm going to talk about that. I got Carmine Embriali coming on. He's a co-author of the 13th Avenue Boys. He's going to be on sometime this week. I got a female author coming on, special guest. I'm not going to announce her right now. I have a journalist coming on. I got Wild Bill Jr. He's going to be coming on. He's got a message for you people out there. So I got a lineup for all of you. We're going to have a good time with my guest. So what'd you think about that Larry Romano? Tell me Larry Romano ain't great. I love Larry Romano. He's a great guy. I dropped the link. You guys can come on. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about. I haven't seen you guys in a while. Don Berlin, you can come on. Joey D. Joey D, I haven't seen you in a long time. I don't even know if I remember how to do this. How's that? Been a little while. A couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks. Okay. There you go. I got 21 people in the chat. Crystal Ward, hi, how are you? Gene Guadillo. I love the chats with Tommy Days. Yeah, Tommy Days will be coming on soon. Tommy Days is actually going to be coming on with Carmine Embriali. Carmine Embriali wrote the book. I see Alphonse in the chat, but I don't see a face. Alphonse, if I don't see a face, you can't get on here. You have to show your face. Show your face, and I'll let you on. Sam Franklin. Bro, are you still thinking about the good guys getting together in York? We're getting together. Not sure if it's going to be York, but it'll be in Pennsylvania for sure. Hope everyone's having a good night. I have Alphonse in the chat. Alphonse, let me see your face. Just show your face. As long as I can see your face and I know it's you, I'll put you in. I got no time for morons today. Here's Don Berlin. Okay.
Hello. How are you?
Don, how's everything?
Not bad. Can you see me okay? I had to turn up the lights here.
Nice.
So how you been?
Good. Nice to see you. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Same to you. Did you enjoy your time with your kids?
Yes, I did. I'll tell you, for me, Father's Day is every day.
Mine was spent mowing 6 acres of lawn, although with a new tractor. So, but it was nice. Thank you very much. So Larry Romano, what a story. I mean, what a guy. And, the adversity that
I'm going to put Joey D on too. But,
okay, all right.
But Don, continue to say what you're saying. Go ahead about Larry Romano.
So I watched that show carefully and what have you, and his personal story is really inspirational when you think about all that he's gone through and then came back from, and how he persisted. It reminds me of an old saying, which is patience for the beginning and persistence until the end. And you got to be patient for the beginning. You never know where the beginning is going to be. You never know when it's going to start, on the road to happy destiny or a road to a new dream. So you got to be patient for the beginning and persistence until the end. So you got to persist until you reach your goal and you reach your dream. And that, that was Larry's story. I mean, it was really compelling. It was a great interview, actually.
Yeah, Larry, you know it is. Look, Larry's like my friend, like you. It's like me talking to you. Larry's a great guy, down to earth guy.
Yeah.
He thinks like us a little.
Yeah.
So it was very easy interviewing him.
Yeah. He did a good job because it's easy to do a talk interview. Anybody can do a talk interview. Have a list of questions and just question. Anybody can do that. When, as a showrunner, I always tell people, the greatest gift of a good interview is when the host sits back and listens. And that's hard sometimes to do, because when you're on live like you are, this is a high risk operation. You and I have talked about that before. It's high risk. You never know who you're going to get. You never know what they're going to say. It's very difficult to control the timing of it. There's many different things that people are not aware of that go into these kinds of high risk interviews. And this one really turned out very well. You did a really good job because you learned a lot from him. I mean, everyone knows your story. So it was good.
And you know what? That's the thing too. You know what? This guy is a thing of knowledge, a person of knowledge. And I got a lot of knowledge out of him, like I get a lot of knowledge out of you. So
thank you.
It's good to talk to people like that.
Yeah, it is, because he has a lot of wisdom. There's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. There really is. There's an old saying that I learned. I can't remember who told this to me. It was I think it was my first or second tour in Afghanistan, and the saying goes something like, the wisdom of we is greater than the knowledge of I. Okay, the wisdom of we, you and me, that wisdom is greater than just a single person's knowledge. And Larry has a lot of wisdom. I mean, and you can tell where that came from, when he talks about his story, because he had a lot of bumps and grinds through his story that allowed him to acquire all of that wisdom, and he definitely shared it. What have you. I like that bird.
He's flying on the hat, Don. Don, I never said hi to you in person, brother. Don,
how are you? Last
Don,
time I
you're
saw
wise too. Wise man.
Thank you very much. The last time, Joey, I saw you, I think I was on Michael's show, and I was transmitting from Afghanistan, wasn't I? Wasn't that, in August? That's what I think I saw you last.
You live an amazing life, brother. I want to thank you for your service, for our country, safety. It's because of guys like you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
it. No doubt.
Thank you. Thank you. I just gotta make it through this last deployment, down at Quantico, which is a long way from where I live.
You'll do it.
And and I'll be okay. Well, who knows?
You're an unsung hero, brother. You're one of the unsung heroes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, Quantico is a beautiful base. I mean, I don't know how many of your listeners have ever been down there, but Quantico, if you ever have a chance to do any, and Jimmy, when you come to the farm with your kids, because you gotta go swimming in the pool.
You gotta go there, Jimmy.
The summertime starts on Monday. So you know what?
Right. Yeah.
Look, let's set up a date, and I'll come down for maybe 2-3 days with my kids. Yeah. And you know what? I know they're gonna have a great time because they love animals.
Oh yeah, they got the horses, you got the dogs. They got 166 acres overlooking the Blue Ridge. Nice. They can do a lot of hiking, fishing. They can walk through the woods. They can play with the dogs. They can go swimming every day. It's really an incredible place, And then you can also get to sit and talk with my wife, who I told you before, she's a clinical psychotherapist who treats people in the military for PTSD. That's what she does. So she treats mostly people in the military that have come back, had a hard time, get addicted to things and what have you, and then get themselves into problems, what have you. So she would look forward to talking with you.
Yeah, well, I would look forward to talk to her.
Yeah. So Joey, tell me, I want to hear the story about the bird. Come on.
Bird is, I walked into pet shop, going to get another scorpion for my scorpion aquarium, and I seen the birds. I was like, hold on, Joey doves, got to get the doves. And they were there was a parent, so I took both of them, you know what I mean? I got a whole room. They don't even get locked in the cage no more. I got a whole room dedicated to the birds. It's like a mud room. So I got tile on it, it's really nice. And then I got a special cleaner I use made of vinegar. It's a special solution like with like essential oil, so they don't get sick or nothing. And then they have trees in there. I'm putting more trees in there, and they stay right on every night. They go right on top of the cage, but they can fly down if they want to and eat. I don't like locking them up, you know what I mean? Because I had other birds, Amazons and African gray. I never locked the cage. They always were trained to go back in the cage at night. Wow. I like to have them let their freedom.
That would never work over at our place. The dogs and the bird would not get along too good.
See, I got my dog, but she don't go in that room. I make sure she out that room, and they stay usually on top of the cage. But in the day, I keep it closed. So she's blind, but she still would get them. But Don, you got a beautiful place out there, Jimmy. Take advantage of getting out there, man. That is going to really. I bet you when Don, you come back with deployment, that just makes you. When you walk out in the woods, that probably gives you peace of mind, man.
It is, and that's one of the reasons why I like Gerard. Gerard is on too, and I think he was stationed at Quantico or knows about it. Yeah. But Quantico is a beautiful base. Hey,
how you doing, Don?
Not bad.
Hey, Joey. Jimmy, hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm sorry about missing you, Gerard. I've been stuck down in Quantico. There are no comms. Things have changed a little bit. So on Wednesday and Saturday, I missed you, but I promise you I'll be back. Promise.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, what I was just saying about Quantico is that when Jimmy, when you come down, I want to give you a tour, the private tour of Marine Corps Museum. It's fascinating. The Marine Corps National Museum at Quantico. And then the other place I'm going to take you and your kids to, which is one of the very, very few national cemeteries. And that's the National Cemetery at Quantico. Very similar to Arlington, but in my mind, I mean, I'm obviously biased. It actually is more, in my opinion, more hallowed ground than Arlington. It's really beautiful. Quantico is the largest Marine Corps base in the world today. It was 89,000 acres, and then they acquired another 14,000, and now it's well over 100,000. So it's huge. But I'll show you around there. It's beautiful.
Right. You know what? I definitely want to see it for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? there's a lot of land I want to see over there. What do you have?
Yeah.
Arlington Cemetery?
Hey,
Yeah.
It's up
hey,
the
but
road.
Don, show him where Sammy spent his days at Quantico. Give him a tour of that floor.
Yeah, I know where that area is.
Give him that tour.
Yeah, and
No.
also, the water on the most southern edge of the base. So the northern part of the base is called the triangle, okay, and the southern part is down where Marine One is kept, and all of the presidential helicopters are kept, is on the furthest southern part of the base where I'm located.
That's
so I'm going to
amazing.
take you over there so you can see where the fleet is at, where the Marine Corps One fleet is kept. There's actually more than just one helicopter. A lot of people don't know that, but there's many, many Marine Ones. But the only time it's called Marine One is when the president is actually aboard. But the fleet is kept on the southern part of Quantico.
That's going to be
Can I tell you
crazy,
something, Dan?
Jimmy.
I'm
Jimmy,
definitely.
you're going to come back a
when I-
secret agent. Jimmy, you're going to
when
be
I
a
was-
007 when you come back.
When I was
You're
down
going to
at
be 007, baby.
when I was at
That's
Quantico,
too fun, man.
Hey, Joe, let's do one at a time. Go ahead, Gerard.
Over here. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
when I was at Quantico, they put us through a course called Bulldog, and it was this is the initial course. It's for officers, and you start running 5 miles the first day. You get off the plane. It's not like they expect you to be in good shape, but it's a rigorous 8 weeks. And one guy went wacky. One of the Marine officer candidates. He went over to Marine One and started chopping up the seat with the Marine One helicopter with a knife.
That wouldn't work today.
When I was there, Quantico was it was the Aquia Creek area, and it really wasn't a desirable place to be. And the Marine Corps it was filled with swamp, and it's a really nasty place. Actually, I imagine it's quite changed since then.
It really has. It really has. As I've said before, I'm not on the COCOM side. You're on the COCOM side. I'm on the DOD and the IC side. So I'm on the other side of the house. So our kind of training at the National Training Center is more on IC related issues and what have you. So I don't go through that kind of training. But I admire everybody, including yourself, Gerard, who did it. It's hard. It's very, very hard. So God bless you for making it.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
I'm looking
It
forward.
definitely was tough.
I'm
Sorry,
definitely
Jimmy. Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to coming to see Don. I'm looking forward to see Gerard too.
Hey, Dom, did you know Don Shipley? Do you know Don Shipley? You got that YouTube channel, retired Navy SEAL, Master Chief.
Yeah, I know his story. I don't know him personally. I know his story. He's a very courageous guy. He really is. He's an amazing guy. I don't think he was in Afghanistan, as far as I recall. I think he was mostly in Iraq. I was not in Iraq. I was always in Afghanistan and in other parts of the Middle East.
His son is a Navy SEAL too. You might not have heard of him. You probably got more action in the Afghanistan stuff. His son.
Yeah. Mr. Shipley, he was a part of the teams. He was on what they call the teams. I don't remember what color team he was on, but all those guys are heroes. I mean, they're all heroes.
Yep.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
Dangerous work. Dangerous.
What about
my work is?
Yeah, that's true. Your work is really dangerous.
Alphonse, I see you in the studio. Joe, what else is new with you? How's everything with you?
You know what? We're doing stuff on the union. They have me speak at the UAW. They may want me to speak some more. Chris Smalls came in town. We hung out a couple of days. I showed him Cleveland. He's got a lot of things he's working on for the war. He's doing a tour for the unionizing Amazons, and he's getting ready to put a super team together. And then I'm just looking for some other stuff. I started doing. I'm looking into realty on the side until I get all this stuff worked out with the National Labor Department, because I filed with them, and that's the process you got to go through. Also, they want me to file with the EOOC because there's some things they feel. We talked about that Amazon did there. So I'm working on that and trying to, you know, start this. I'm still doing things, you know, what I need to do, but we're doing it on a different format. We got a different strategy. And then the thing is, with this thing, I figured realty, I can do that even when I get my job back. Hopefully they're gonna get this back. They're gonna have to pay me with interest what they owe me. Because I feel everything we feel was an unfair labor act because I have a right to organize. And then I'll start doing realty, take the test for that. And maybe I could sell a couple homes here and there, make a little money on the side. I'm trying to just, you know, pick up some extra work here and there till that process comes. You know what I mean? Stay busy.
Hey, Joey, did you get hurt or what happened?
Yeah, I hurt my knee on the job. I hurt my knee, and then they try to claim I didn't get hurt. They try to take me to court and do all kind of stuff back in February. That's when I started, you know, the wheels started turning in my head. Like, this company is ridiculous. I went to Cleveland Clinic because I'm feeling the pain. They're telling me I'm not in pain. They're telling me just a leg sprain. So now I find out my bone was hitting my bone and that knee. And it's causing that pain. They need to put a special brace on me to keep that bone off when I'm doing activity like that. And then I came back with that information. And they tell, oh yeah, they canceled the hearing, saw all this other stuff. If I didn't do that step, I never would have known that, and I would have took their word for it. I'd have got injured more. And then at the same time, after I found that out, you know, I found other Amazon people working there, workers that are going through almost the same thing. And then they started like writing people up like crazy. And I said, what is going on here? This is ridiculous. You know, we need a union here. So I started my thing for a union, you know.
Let me just give a shout out to ex-wife. Thank you for the super stick. I appreciate it. Ed Rogers, love you too. Thank you. Your Israels, they come. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. It means a lot to me. Dana the Smiths, HGT, one of the first unfortunately killed in Afghanistan. Alabama was one of our family. Thank you all for your service. Never forget.
Thank you.
Information
well,
on that,
it's both my honor, and I think I speak for Gerard as well. But it's both my honor and my great privilege. So you don't need to thank me. I need to thank you because you know, it is our friends, our family, our country, and our supporters that allow us to do our work. It is, believe me, it is not us. And I don't say that because I'm a humble guy, because I'm not a humble guy, unfortunately. I say that because it's a fact. You know, we would not be able to sustain ourselves but for the fact of the people who are back here praying for us, hoping for us, and keeping us safe. So, but anyway.
What about
Joey? You know, I'm sorry to hear about the situation at Amazon. You know, I have another friend of mine that works at Amazon that got, you know, in a similar kind of situation with a bad injury and whatever. And apparently, you know, with the amount of stuff that they have to do, that, you know, the routinization of the work at Amazon on those trolleys and what have you, their incidence of injury is like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I did critical roles there. I was a trainer. I did the critical roles where sometimes I was the only one in the building who knew how to do the job, not even operators know how to do it. So they know that I made $52,000 out of a 3-day job. Now that's working amazing amount of overtime. So they know my history. When they would interview me, they know you ain't had no problem until this unionizing started, really, and you're injured. So that right there tells them this man made $52,000, was working tremendous amount of hours. You had him working, training people, doing critical jobs, roles that no one else knew how to do. And how all of a sudden he'd become an employee you want to fire, and you find a way to fire me. He's been always complying with security. What is your issue? So they can realize as they put these pieces together, they know it's about the organization of the union. They can see the history. Because I've been there almost 2 years. So they know the history. It's not like something I was a problem child. They know, I train people to be a positive worker there. And I used to tell people it's always day one. I used to encourage people, be positive. Even I would work during my breaks. I paid breaks.
Well,
and everyone knew my attitude there.
Here's my my observation from what you're sharing. And it's important that you share that. But no, here's my observation. There has to come a point where you're able to get beyond this, okay? There's always an opportunity to sit in the present and ruminate and be resentful and what have you. And you are the only person that loses through that. And I know you're hurting. I understand that because of the injuries or whatever, but you got to find a way to get beyond this. And I'm not saying surrender. Okay. I am not saying surrender. Surrender doesn't mean die. It just means that you're turning your will over to the care of someone, something, someplace else. That's all I'm saying. But you got to find a way to get beyond this so that you have the second part of your life. And I look back at Jimmy's situation, okay? He had to come to a point in his life when he said, I got to get beyond what I went through and go forward. Because why? In his case, his story is that he did it because he had children. He had to take care of his kids. He had to move forward. And if he didn't, who is going to take care of the kids? Who's going to take care of his home? Who's going to, create his life? And look what he has built as a result. And Joey, I am telling you, you can do the same thing. But you got to have the courage, you have to have the faith, and you have to have the trust in yourself and others to move forward.
So absolutely. And it takes all that, but it also takes, sometimes you got to let go.
Yeah.
You got to let go and you got to go forward. You got to just, okay, I'm going to let it go and I'm going to move forward and do what I have to do. I'm saying you can't just let it control your life.
No.
Right? Like you're always talking about the union. I'm in a union. Okay. Sometimes the union's good. Sometimes the union's bad. There ain't 100% good about it. Believe me. There's a lot of bad things about it too. But you got to you got to do what's best for you. I'm saying.
Yeah, and you're right, Jimmy. There comes a point where you have to let go, let God, and move forward.
That's it.
And,
just
and
lift
again,
up
Joe. Right, and Joey, I want to re-emphasize what I said before, because I don't want you to think I'm saying that letting go means surrender. It doesn't mean surrender. It doesn't mean to give up. It just means to set this aside, find a way to get beyond this so you have a life for yourself and for the people whom you love. That's what it means.
Right. Yeah, because I took, like, I'm so into this, like, so absorbed with it and getting calls from people.
Right.
I had a personal relationship kind of like, we're still friends, but I kind of like let's get in the way with that a little bit. And she was like a little upset about, some of this stuff. But I was like so focused. I'm in interviews for 3-4 hours with an investigator. You know how that is, affidavit stuff. And I'm dealing with that. And I let some of that kind of like, this is more important to me right now. And I kind of like, and I kind of feel that did affect some of my friends, maybe my friendships in certain areas. You know what I mean? And my focus was so on this that I even took a project I was writing. I put that aside. I put a lot of stuff aside just to focus on this.
And you know what?
It's true, Joe.
And sometimes what we do is sometimes we make people, we make certain things control our life. Where sometimes, you just got to let it go. And it goes for politics too. I mean, a lot of us think different on certain issues. And, we bunk heads with other people. Sometimes those people are people we love, and we find ourselves arguing with them over, things that are going on in this country because we love the country so much, but we think differently. I mean, I value something, you value something else, but you got to let it go. Sometimes you can't even talk about it. Just let it go. You know what? If it's going to take over your life, then you know what? Bye. I don't want nothing to do with it no more.
And and in that regard, go, Gerard, go.
Go ahead, Gerard.
There's another thing too, and this is living in the life, like I call it. Living is a series of setbacks and recoveries. I could say something or react poorly one day in the morning, recognize it, and turn my life around with the help of God and make the day a good day. So because I have an argument with someone or I'm twisted because of an incident or what have you, I shouldn't have to suffer. I should be able to move forward but I have to recognize that I'm in a bad spot first. Ask God for help, and if I did something wrong to somebody, if I harmed them, I need to go ahead and try and make a quick amend to them, so that that bridge is reestablished in my life, and I can continue along my merry path as I trudge the path, so to speak, the muddy path. Sometimes, sometimes it's raining.
Right.
But the key is to I get punched. You gotta roll with the punches. And I know that's a trite phrase, but it takes practice and practice and practice.
Boy, you're so right, Gerard. In my own life, I have to look at, I work inside of a SCIF for people that are listeners that don't know what that means. SCIF stands for a secure compartment intelligence facility. It's a highly secure area that we do our work in. I can't really talk too much more about it beyond that, but that's what a SCIF is. But it's very intense. You're working on multiple computers, multiple systems, and what have you, and you're just staring intently, consumed by what you're doing, and just like obsessed over trying to solve this problem or whatever that problem might be. And you know something? They have a track that goes all the way around the perimeter of the area where we are located, which is an isolated area inside the base. It's different from the regular base, but it's 1.4 miles, and it's the entire barbed wire fence line, okay? And there's a track right next to it. And I got to get out of the facility and walk around that thing 3 times a day, or I go batshit crazy, pardon my language. I got to do that because I cannot get consumed. And so what I'm saying, to you and to myself, more importantly, because I'm the first one, Joey, that is guilty of this. The first one, not like you. I am also guilty of this. And that is, you just get consumed by something. You just can't let it go. And then you know what happens? It just burns you up alive, inside out. And you can't let that happen. And that's why they have the track, is just for that reason. You got to get outside and take the needle off the record and play a different tune. That's what I always say.
Yeah, because it's like, that's a personal thing to me against Bezos. I'm like, it's so personal to me, like this thing here. And then they told me the union I'm dealing with, like the Teamsters is telling me you're the strongest that we have over here. I mean, out of everybody that even talked to everyone, they said, you're the one that's really, carrying this torch. And I'm telling them to believe, I need to go do what I got to do, because I'll do it by myself, get everybody sign these cards. That's how passionate I am. They see what I did by myself, and they're like, you need to help people helping you, Joe. You need to help people. I said, I can do it myself. That's how determined I am. I don't need no one but me. And I'll get everyone to sign these cards.
I definitely, hey, Joey, I definitely get that. I do. And I'm not deprecating or diminishing the seriousness of what you're confronting. I'm not. But what I'm also saying is you got to find something else that you can do that will give you some relief from this, because this cannot consume you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, of course.
That's not an option.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you are too good of a guy. I've seen you many, many times on the air, here, over mics, on the IC, and so on and so forth. You're too good of a guy. You have helped too many people, here and elsewhere, to allow this to take you down.
I appreciate that, Don. After you told me that, I think I'll just start getting back to the gym, because I've been like, you see it, I'm reading here. I got this and I got this. And I'm writing things and calling people. Just got off the phone with a UAW guy, and it's like,
Joe, you got to take care of yourself. Focus on you. Focus on your health. You know what? Get a little work here and there. And you know what? Find out what you want to do. That's what you got to do. Find out what you want to do. And you know what?
Well, I'm not going to surrender, like Don said, but I got to find a balance somehow. What he's telling me, you got to let it go for some time and then get back. You got to have some type of way to let it go. I mean, that's what I got to figure out.
I got a Tommy from Brooklyn in the chat. He's in the studio. Let me put him on.
Put him on.
What he has to say. I'm not sure if he was on here before.
Yo.
What's up, Tommy?
What's
What
up,
up,
guys?
Tommy?
How you doing?
Good. How's everything?
Good,
Yeah.
good. I just listened to the Larry Romano interview, and then I caught that you guys were on. But that was a great interview.
Thank you. Yeah, Larry is a great guy. So what? I mean, were you on here before? Did I see you before on here?
Yeah. We
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
conversation a couple of months
Yeah.
ago.
He's a good guy. Good guy, Jimmy. Tommy is really a good guy.
Thanks. You guys are all great too. Don, are you down in Virginia?
Yeah. I'm south of where you're at.
I had a house in Northern Virginia, but now I'm up in Maryland, along like the Eastern Shore.
Yeah.
Just
I remember you sharing before that you had once lived in Northern Virginia and that you were moving or something like that. But,
the allergies down there, they're too rough for me.
Yeah.
I was taking Claritin and Flonase every day, and then the traffic on 95 was just a killer.
Forget it. Awful.
Let me tell you something. Let me say something. Hey, Pazzo, the only Mickey Mouse club is you. And you are Mickey Mouse, baby. More like Donald Duck. What union you talking about? What union you talking about? I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you, Pazzo. You know what? If you ever want to shut my mouth when you see me. Okay, Pazzo? How you like that?
Joe.
How you like that? Hey, Pazzo, when you meet me, shut my mouth. See if you can do it. You Mickey Mouse guy. I don't care who you think you're with. How you like that, Pazzo? Shut your mouth sometime. Give some respect to people. Look, you hear me, man? Give some respect, because I'm going to show you how to give some respect. Come on my way. Come my way. Go to the meetup, brother. I want you to come in my face and say what you got to say.
Hey, Joe, first of all, I had to take Joey out of Joey's still in the studio. I just had to take him off. Now, Joe, I know that you're listening. Look, Pazzo is talking to Jay. He says, Jay, what union is that? The Mickey Mouse union. He's not talking, but Joe, he's not
up, Jimmy.
Huh? Do you hear me, Gerard?
Joe, Jimmy, you're breaking up.
No, I can hear you. He's good.
I can hear you.
I think that's on your side, Gerard. Look, but Jay, he's talking to Jay about a union. Him and Jay is talking back and forth. That's why I put him up there. What I'm saying is that every union is not the same. But you two guys hear me, right?
Yeah,
I hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Gerard, that's you on your end. You got to fix your mic.
Or your Wi-Fi or whatever.
Yeah.
But Joey, I don't know if you could hear it, but that conversation didn't have anything to do with you. It had something to do with somebody else.
Joe, that conversation had nothing to do with you. You hear me, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I wanted to just jump in and say was a completely different topic of conversation, but I was listening to the interview and
I'll just play this right here.
Will never make you grow. It's not a shame. There's no happy endings in this life.
Joe, I don't think
That's my message to you.
Pazzo was talking about you. I think he was arguing with Boston Jay.
Now Pazzo wants to fight too.
Let him do it.
Hey, Pazzo.
Let him do it. I'm getting a big one for his money.
Understanding. Look, it's a misunderstanding. Joe, put your phone down. Okay, I gotta take you out of the studio now. Okay.
No,
go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's fucked up the way how it sounds like he got blackballed from the industry. And you know what's funny is that I never watched King of Queens when it was on, to be honest with you. But when the lockdown first happened, they were replaying it all the time, and I just set the DVR to permanently DVR all the episodes. And then I realized, like, hey, why did they get rid of his character? So him doing the interview with you last night, the other night, what was it, Saturday? Saturday night, it told a lot as to why they got rid of him. And, it's fucked up. The same thing happened to Vince Vaughn because of certain things that he was saying. I know you brought up James Woods.
Yes.
He's spot on when he was saying about how the right isn't really involved in the entertainment industry.
That's the truth.
That is true, and that's not me. That's not me saying, "Oh, I'm one way or the other." But there's just
Tommy, that's changing because now the right is creating their own industry.
Yeah, I'll tell you that, Patrick,
but
David.
Tommy is right about one thing, and that is that the right is not inside the traditional entertainment industry. They were pushed out. Their only way that they can operate is creating their own industry.
And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to tell you something else. Look, when I was a kid, my dad, all I did was watch John Wayne when I was a kid. It was either John Wayne or baseball. And now they've come up with all this stuff about John Wayne, who, I read books about him when I was a kid. He leaned towards the right and he donated to Republicans and all of that. But now they're trying to destroy his legacy as if he wasn't a great American. They want to rename the airport. They have an airport in California named after him that they want to rename the airport because they're saying he said a lot of stuff, racist stuff. Now I wasn't around, in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, so I can't speak to that. But it is bullshit, in my opinion.
Well, Tommy, it's interesting you say that because that is part of the kindling wood of what is causing so much of the national societal anger today, and that is this cancellation culture, the woke culture.
Yep.
John Wayne grew up in a completely different era, totally maybe foreign to today's generation. Okay, no different than Benjamin Franklin or George Washington, and Christopher Columbus, and yet they want to cancel them, tear down their statutes, and whatever. That is just the nature of what is happening, and causing a lot of the divide and the hatred too.
Yeah, it's just sad. You see a stand-up guy like Larry, I know he was in some really great movies, but you see a guy like him trying to get in there, and they cancel him, and I know he's doing other things that it seems he's getting fulfillment out of, but he had a really good point about that. I will say that.
No, absolutely. And this is what's going on in the country now. As you know, we all know what's going on. It's all this woke shit. I'm saying they're all bringing up this old racist shit. I mean, they're teaching people how to hate. It's all about the hate. This transgender shit that's going on in the schools.
Yep.
I mean, look, there's a bunch of garbage going on. Seriously, this is what's going on today. And it's just you got to bring your children up to have their own brain.
Yeah. He also, that comment that he made about the other thing I took from that was he was saying about how the people on the King of Queens had their I know you said Leah, right?
Yeah.
But that she is a Scientologist, and other people had their different religious beliefs, but it wasn't a good set for him to go work on. So it sounds like that was one of the reasons why he was just like, you know what, fuck it, let me go on and do something else here.
All right, and he as I said at the outset, he has a really compelling story, inspirational story.
Yeah.
One involving a lot of courage and bravery, and which is, I can see why that Jimmy, you and he are close friends, because there's an authenticity about him that really shines through. That's probably the reason why his interview came across so well.
Yeah, his interview was good.
Yeah, it is, and it was easy for me.
Yeah.
It was very easy because me and him had the same values.
Right.
So it was really simple, And listen, you know what? If people look, for instance, we got this, and I got nothing wrong with anyone being what they want. You want to be a transgender? God bless you. I'm saying, what's his name? The Kardashian father. What's his name? Jenna.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, look, God bless him. But if you're happy like that, God bless you. Do what you want. I'm saying, but the thing is, I'm not down with a transgender guy swimming in the Olympics with women. I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not into that bullshit. That's a bunch of bullshit. I'm saying, because at the end of the day, you're still a boy. You're not a girl. I'm saying, and me, my morals is I believe that there's only two genders. There's female and male. That's it. I mean, you want to hate me for it, hate me for it. That's my belief.
Yeah, I mean, my view of that is I ignore the the sexual connotations of it for just a moment, and what I focus upon is the way that the woke and the cancellation culture tries to segmentate culture, society. They try to divide people into groups. There's no the entire United States of America any longer. Now you are segmented into all these groups of victims. And to that end, what Jimmy was just talking about, what is unfair, is fundamentally unfair, is that when a person is a man swimming in a women's sport, think about all the other women who are trying to compete against that and who have spent years of time and training and money and resources to compete, only to be placed at a disadvantage because, well, someone says that it has to be fair, and therefore a male can swim amongst females. That's not fair, just, or equal to the women who are trying to honestly compete. That's my issue.
And you know what? And that's what's wrong with this fucking country. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, it's mixed up. There's something wrong there. Seriously. I mean, but I want to get back to Pazzo and Joe. Joe, just to let you know, Pazzo was not.
He's talking about the Teamsters is a Mickey Mouse Union. That's what he said. Every Teamster out there heard that.
Look, he's talking to Jay. He was talking to Jay. He was not talking to you. He was talking to Boston Jay. They were having a conversation, and I put that up there. So I'm just letting you know that he wasn't directing that towards you. Okay.
Or the Teamsters. He wasn't referring to.
No, they were talking about that. They were saying,
I'm doing a serious. I'm living a serious life. This is serious. I lost my job. This is serious. This is life and death here. This ain't a joke.
Yeah, no, we understand. Yeah. I understand. Okay, but Pazzo too. You know what? Now Pazzo's heated. I don't want none of you to be heated. Okay, you know why? Because you're heated for no reason. It's a misunderstanding. So just forget about it. Pazzo, you too. Okay, you're both good guys, and I respect both of you. Just forget about it. It never happened.
So one of the things that this is a short story, but I'm going to tell it anyway, and it leads me into something in which I owe you, Jimmy. Myself and Colonel Reilly are going to produce this video for your trailer. We were talking about that. You and I were talking about that on the phone, to do a trailer, because you come in and out with the same lead in, and you got a great lead in, but it needs to be different for an exit. So to Joey's point, one of the things that recently that gave me the greatest amount of joy, truly joy, to do was when I did the Memorial Day film for Jimmy. Why? Because number one, it got me out of my own life.
That was great.
Got me out of my own world, and allowed me to just kind of like come up with some creative ideas, bounce them back and forth with Jimmy. He gave me his ideas. I talked to Gerard, and of course, Colonel Reilly and I, we've done this many times before, what have you. So I found an activity, and this is the moral of the story, Joey. I found an activity completely different from what I normally do. Did that for somebody else, okay? you know, on my own, because I wanted to help that other person and his audience and whatever. And just, you know, kind of like that was my motivation, you know, to do it. So we're going to do another one, Jimmy. I got to tomorrow. I don't know if you're going to be around tomorrow or the next day. Let's see, tomorrow's what?
Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow night I'm working.
Okay, so maybe on Friday, I'll call you at home or on your mobile on Friday and go over the script for the exit trailer, because we got it pretty much down, but I want to run it by you and see what you think.
No, absolutely, and I appreciate it. Tell the Colonel too. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, John.
I will.
That was great. That Memorial Day one was great. You need to have some sort of outlets every now and then to get away from the norm of your life.
Of course.
Speaking of which, so what are yours, Tommy? What are yours?
So, you know, I have a small daughter right now. They're married. I'm trying to go to all the baseball stadiums. That's a big one. So I'm supposed to go to out to California next week, but we'll see. We'll see, because right now my wife has COVID. Yeah. She got COVID right now. So I'm down here in the basement. I got the Met came on, and I'm happy you guys came on. But I'm on 19 of 30 right now.
Wow.
The ones that are in the middle of the country are the tough ones, like you know, Minnesota, Kansas City, St. Louis. There's that. You know, I love to go to the gym. I've been going for I work in finance. So
Tom, you know what? I don't want to stop, but look, I got Pazzo in the studio. Look, Joe, I'm gonna make Pazzo come on, okay? I want you to be a gentleman. Pazzo, listen, I know you're heated, okay? I want you to calm down, okay? Look, it's a misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding.
This could be a combination of nitro and glycerin, but go with it and see what happens.
Look, Pazzo, and Joe, it's a misunderstanding because he wasn't talking to you. So, you know, just and I don't want you to argue. I want you to look. I'm saying just forget about it.
Try to listen to one another.
I'm saying just forget about it. Make it like it never happened. I want you to
listen to one another.
Hey, Joey.
Pazzo, you guys shut your TV off.
Hey, Joey.
There you go.
How's that better?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot better.
Joey, can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Jay. You interjected in a conversation that had nothing to do with you.
I just seen the Mickey Mouse Union, and he put it up there. I thought you talking about my union.
Jay's union is a Mickey Mouse union because they're charging them dues every single day. I said, what do you work for, a Mickey Mouse union?
Yeah, every 4 days they're charging them.
Well, I thought you were talking about what I was talking about. So
I get it.
No.
That's okay, but you interjected. Okay, so but I wasn't talking
about. My mind was on that. That's why.
I'm a pro-union man too. Believe me.
Hey, when Jimmy put it on there,
my old man was a union organizer. Okay, for trust me. All right, so we went through a lot of this. My family was, as being Italian, went through a lot of shit with the unions. So I'm pretty familiar with unions, bro. I'm pro-union.
I was a carpenter union. I was a union carpenter, so I was a union carpenter. I'm building bridges, so I worked some of the biggest.
AFL-CIO over here, Teamsters. So we're pretty familiar.
All right, all right. Well, I apologize. You know what I mean? That's all I can tell you. I thought he was talking about me.
And Pazzo,
I wasn't.
Pazzo,
I couldn't tell because I don't see all the other stuff. I don't see what he put on the screen.
All right, Joe.
No. Go ahead and look back, Joey. You can look back, Joey, and read it. Later on, you can go back and read it.
Listen, I'm a man to say, look, hey, man, I take my words back because I thought it was talking about that. I was talking about the union, and it came at the same time.
It's good enough, Joey. That's good enough, Joey.
And Pazzo, thank you for being a.
That's all I can tell you, you know.
Pazzo, thank you for being a gentleman. And Joe,
I was hot for a minute there.
All right, then we'll crack a beer together. We'll crack a beer together and we'll be over with.
Okay, Joe. Sounds good. That sounds good.
All right.
Listen, Jimmy. Listen. If if this doesn't work out for you, okay, you should be a marriage counselor. Okay, you go into that business. Okay.
All right, we'll go to Vegas, Pazzo. We'll go to Vegas.
It sounds good. It sounds good to me, brother. I'm ready. Whenever you want to go, I'm ready. I'll be
Jimmy,
there.
the best. Jimmy's my best man. And Dom, you want to be special? Tom.
There was another guy. There was another guy that was out here that looked just like Gerard. Wasn't there another dude? Who's that guy that was just out here?
That was Gerard.
Who's this gentleman? How you doing there, buddy? What's this gentleman up here sitting next to Jimmy?
That's Don Berlin, and the other guy. Another guy up there is Tommy.
How you doing, Tommy?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm looking at two different things here. That's my fault.
All right.
But Don Berlin kind of looks like Gerard a little bit, I think.
Well, we're kind of wingmates here. You know, we both he served in the Marine Corps. I served on the DoD side, but both of us were deployed at the same base. I'm still at the same base at Quantico. So we kind of fly together in that regard.
Oh, all right. I had a hard time getting in here. I had to use my phone again, and I had to come in through Safari. I never had to do that before, so I don't know.
Hey, Jimmy.
Changing.
Hey, Jimmy, you can take us out to eat at the Staten Island Unicorn Deli, the diner.
Right. I got it.
Jimmy will pay the bill.
Jimmy,
you pay the bill
I got it.
for lunch.
Anytime.
I got the tab. I'll pay.
I got an office over there. I got an office in that Unicorn diner.
I think they miss you over there.
Listen, Tommy, go back to Tommy for a second. I got to ask you a question. So now you're at 18 of 30. How many parks? 33 parks?
I've been to 19 of 30.
19 of 30.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna show you. I got down here. This is like a map of all the ballparks.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
if you can see it, but you put like a sticker next to every time you've been to one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Have you been to Comiskey Park or Cubs Stadium?
Yeah. I've been to both of them in Chicago. Just the weather there was shitty.
So
Pittsburgh. I'm telling you, Pittsburgh is. I mean, it's a long drive if you're going from New York because you got to drive all the way from Pennsylvania. But Pittsburgh and San Diego, those are my top two.
Have you been to the yards yet? Camden Yards?
Yeah, Camden Yards. Yeah, it's nice.
Here's the thing you got to do as you drive along, okay? So the first thing you got to do is you got to take a U-Haul with you and pick up baseball cards on your way, okay?
For Jimmy.
Off to Jimmy.
Jimmy's got plenty of those.
Right. So stop at every exit and stop at every baseball card.
Yeah.
And then do me a favor, send the bubble gum to me because I like the gum.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Well, I haven't gone to all of them. I haven't gone to all of them consecutively. It's like 1 year here, 1 year there. There's been a couple of years I could go to 2 or 3, but now with my daughter, it's a little tough. You know, we went to Father's Day last year at a Nationals park, but it's great. I love baseball and I love football, but to be honest with you, I'd rather go to a baseball game just because the people at baseball games, you always meet nice people. Like
they're not as rowdy. They're not as rowdy.
That's right. Don't get me wrong, I love football, but you go to a football game
they're drinking, they're drunk.
That's right. You can't bring, I'm not going to bring my wife there. I'm not going to bring the kids there. It's just,
I know. I agree with
that. No, especially if you go to football like it. If you go to a Pittsburgh game, you bring an AR-15 with you, or a vest, one of the two, because it's going to be a knockabout.
Yeah,
it's going to be a knockabout. Right.
Yeah.
The Browns, they were throwing peanuts. We was in the back, everyone's drunk throwing peanuts down to the end, throwing peanuts at everybody down. The Browns, forget about it. Forget about it. Browns is crazy. Now, Indy, now you go to the game, you can bring a pizza in there. I used to bring oysters, plain oysters, whatever. Sit there and eat them, pizzas.
Yeah.
Subway sandwiches, sit in the back all day and just have a great time,
So Tommy, you pick up the. So number one item is to pick up the baseball cards on your way.
Okay.
And ship those FedEx
overnight.
Right.
Well, I used to, and again, I don't know, in New York, Jimmy
Sure.
probably knows this. They used to have like the baseball card shows. Do you remember, Jimmy? They used to have that at the Golden Gate Hotel in Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah.
They used to have the baseball card shows. They would have it there like Sunday afternoon, 11 a.m., for a few hours.
Yeah, Tom, the Golden Gate is now a school.
Yeah, is it? Oh my gosh.
You're talking about Sheepshead Bay, right?
Yeah, Sheepshead Bay. That's where all the wise guys used to bring their mistresses, right? During the day.
That's it. Yeah, that's a school now.
Oh man, that's crazy. Crazy to think.
You know where they used to also have the baseball card conventions was, at Cubs Park. The outfield is all bars, with the big, huge patios up on top of the roof and what have you. And they would have those baseball card conventions on the top of the roof, after the games and what have you.
Oh, the fans there were great. They were when I went to Wrigley Field, I will tell you, there was not one person looking at their phone. Not one person. It was a Cubs Dodgers day game, middle of the season, and everybody was locked into that game. It was great. It was a lot of fun. That type of stuff I like to do. I'm like a road trip guy. I don't like going away 2-3 weeks, being away from home. I go away like 3-4 days, come back home, I'm happy.
So
Tommy, this is what I used to wear at the Indian games. This is what I used to wear at the Indian games.
Helmet.
Hey, listen, it's TC Sabathia signed it. I had some other players sign it.
Oh man,
the end of the game, I still got his name on it. I used to wear this,
nice.
And we used to have a blast because I was trying to bring this in this, like we did the hard hats in the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
and I made one for the Indians.
That's great. You got you keep that Sabathia signature. That's probably
keep that.
I got him on here. TC Sabathia. I got number 10 on here. I got Coco Chris signed it.
Coco Chris.
TC Sabathia.
Well, let me ask you, what about an underrated Indian? What about Albert Bell?
I got an Albert Bell. I think I got an Albert Bell rookie, and then I had Travis Hafner.
Two MVPs because the media didn't like him. But you go look up his numbers for 10 years.
I mean, he's the best. He's the best. Let me tell you what. Travis Hafner.
TC Sabathia rocks, man. We love
Travis,
him in New York.
Yeah, TC Sabathia, and Travis Hafner sent me a buck. I used to get everyone rowdy. I used to get everybody rowdy in that game. Like one time was out there messing with a pitcher out there, and I never cussed at him. I just kept messing with him, talking about he was from Chicago. Kept on saying, "Hey man, I like them. You got to be stuffed them sausages on your part-time job, and this and that. And my grandma can pitch better than you." After a while, he looked up at me. He looked up at me, and the whole crowd went crazy. I kept messing with him anytime he was in between the innings, and he finally looked up at me and said something, and the whole crowd went crazy. I was over the pitchers with the practice, and I would get him. So Travis Hafner sent me one of his baseball cards from one of the ushers. Said he wants you to have this. You know what I mean?
He was a good guy.
He was a great pitcher.
Huge guy.
I used to love going to the game.
So Tommy, do you know the story? This is a trivia question.
All right, hit me.
Okay, here it goes. Okay, what is the name of the goat?
The Billy Goat?
Right.
For Wrigley, that was the curse.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Okay,
the curse.
So now,
curse.
What happened to the goat?
Well, didn't they sell the goat or something, and that's why they thought there was a curse?
Yeah.
I know it was 1907, so
yeah, exactly.
They sold the goat, right? Okay.
Right. The goat came into the tavern, Billy Goat's Tavern, which is an underground Whacker Drive, which is underneath the main street called North Whacker Drive. And then when the goat got told that it couldn't come into Billy Goat's or go to the game and what have you, they put a curse on he did. I can't remember the name of the guy that owned it. Someone that's one of the listeners who's from Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago, but I can't remember the name of the guy that owned the goat. He's a Greek guy. But that place still exists. Your Billy Goat Tavern still exists.
So I'll tell you something crazy. When we went to go visit there, the seat where Steve Bartman was sitting, they got rid of the seat. They rearranged they rearranged the whole section because when we did a tour of the park, I was like, you got to bring us to the Bartman seat. And they were like, it was around this area, but the actual seat the seating area, a few rows, they actually pulled it out and they removed it, so it's not even there.
Oh my God, I can't believe that was one of the main attractions.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, I was
and part of the
surprised.
story.
Yeah,
Right,
I was surprised. The next one I really want to go to is San Francisco. I've heard San Francisco is beautiful.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Candlestick Park. Yeah. Well, that's a long drive.
Yeah. No. It's a long drive.
A lot of baseball cards between Maryland and San Francisco.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Well,
assuming you don't get killed in
well,
San Francisco while
parents.
you're there.
This is the deal, right? My parents actually moved out to Vegas in 2004. They were smart. They saw what was going on in Brooklyn. And then I lived with my grandmother until I finished high school, and then I just stayed in New York to go to school. But so they've been actually out there for almost 20 years now.
Okay.
But so when we go to the stadiums on the West Coast, I'll fly to Vegas first, and then we'll go drive from Vegas to California. So all the ones in Southern California we've gone to. I just haven't gone to the stuff in Northern California because it's a bit further away.
Yeah.
So
hey, Jimmy, have you ever done anything like that? Have you ever done anything similar?
Yeah.
Where you've lined up a whole bunch of places you want to go to like that? Have you ever done anything like that?
No, not a whole bunch of places. But yeah, I like to go on road trips. I go 4th of July. I'm gonna probably be going to Pennsylvania. My friend Joe, he's a Marine. Actually, I know him all my life. His sister ended up marrying my uncle, but he's a dear friend of mine. He's family to me. I always go there for the 4th of July. My kids love it there. Has a whole bunch of animals. My brother lives in PA too. But I like to go on road trips, but nothing compared to what he's talking about.
Well, but I mean that I did over time, and
cool.
when you were in your 20s, you had some other stuff going on, but now you time for you to make up for it. But I don't know, are your daughters into are they into I'm sure they do gymnastics because that's what my daughter's doing now. She's doing gymnastics and ballet and
yes, my daughter likes to dance. My oldest one likes to dance. My little one is she's more into the rough and tumble stuff. But she also likes the arts and crafts.
Good.
But yeah, my kids. I mean, listen, I got an 8-year-old, a 13-year-old. These kids are, they're funny.
Yeah.
And everything that comes out of their mouth is the truth.
So I have a client.
Watch out.
Yeah.
I have a client that has a daughter. He told me, he's like, the first 10 years are awesome. The next 10 years are kind of tough.
You're right about that.
Hey, Don, did you ever meet
to that?
Hey, Don, did you meet Richard Masenko, Red Cell?
No. He was before my time. When I was over there, I did not meet him. Okay. I knew Chris. What's his name?
Chris Spiel.
But I did not know him. But that wouldn't surprise me. I was always behind the wire, and he was not. He was out front.
He was intense, wasn't he? He was an intense guy, wasn't he?
I don't know.
He lived a crazy life, Did you ever heard of Red Cell? Have you heard of Red Cell?
Yes,
what they did?
Yes.
That was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Red Cell is what we were talking about before, is one of the teams that works for the Navy SEALs. That's underneath the Navy SEALs or whatever.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a Phil Hadaway come to Houston, see the Astros Stadium.
I've been to that one. That park it's small. It's a small left field. Like you could feel like you could get up at bat and go pull one, and it'll go over the left field fence. But it was a nice stadium. It was nice.
What do you keep as a souvenir? You keep the tickets? You put them in a photo album?
You know what? Now with SeatGeek and StubHub and all this stuff, it's kind of like saved. But my dad can't really travel with me, so like I buy him a shirt. When I was at Wrigley Field, I bought some stuff because it's Wrigley Field, Fenway Park. But yeah, I usually get like my dad a shirt, send it to him in the mail. You know, watching. This is what I got on right now. I got baseball on right now. Watching baseball. I mean, I don't know. Not saying I would have. You know, the stuff that Jimmy and his crew had going on. You know, it was a different time. I'm about 20 years younger than him, but you know, just me playing baseball, traveling, taking the train to the Bronx and Queens, and that just saved me a whole lot of. It kept me away from negative distractions when I was growing up in Bensonhurst.
See, that's the thing. Sports would do that.
That's right.
I mean, that's the
That's
thing.
right.
That's the thing
Good
I
for
wish
you.
I would have did because
Yeah, more sports the better.
sports would have been better because when I went play football, my mother never would sign that release form ever, man. I tried the whole teams. I used to play with them in the park. And then I'm going to tell you, that was when I went towards more of the street life.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the sports.
I've seen
I
a
started
lot
hanging
of
around with the guys in the streets instead of hanging around with the guys in the, doing the right thing. I can tell you, sports can keep you out of a lot of trouble.
Joey. Me too, Joey. Same thing, bro.
Yeah, same thing. I wish. And my friend, he played for Indianapolis Colts, and he said to me, "You should have had your aunt sign for it or something." I said, "Damn, how come I didn't even think about that?" And I didn't even think about it at the time. I just, tomorrow, get me on it. No, you're gonna die out there. You're gonna get killed. She always worried too much about everything. So I didn't play, and that was what I was gonna do because I had all this. Look, Raymond Harris played in our school. We had a lot of guys come from our school in our town to play football. And my guy who helped raise with me, my big brother Tommy Lando, his son's getting ready to play, probably go professional because all we did was play football in our neighborhood. We played football every day in the street.
Football.
My favorite.
Yeah.
And
me too.
who knows what could have happened? I always say that, you can't look back at that, and you always wonder. Sports can keep you out of a lot of trouble.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm trying to find right now for my daughter, like what's going to click for her that she's actually going to like. I don't want to push her into something. I want her to find out what she likes to do. But I totally agree with that. Like we used to take the train all over New York City, or you go play in Long Island. Okay, you're going to go for a tournament in Long Island the whole weekend during the summertime. Meanwhile, during the summertime, I would go back, and then who would be doing this, that, and the other over the course of the weekend.
Keeps you off the street. Keeps you off the street for sure.
Yeah.
The military does that too.
One of the reasons why the sport plays an integral role with kids and in a positive way is because
competition.
What it teaches them. It teaches them rules. It teaches them boundaries. Teamwork. It teaches them to be able to be, a sportsman.
You respect your coach. You're supposed to respect your coach.
It teaches you how to lose.
That's right. That's right.
That's true. Yeah,
it's a real big thing.
And lose gracefully, and also teaches you how to come back, after a devastating loss.
Yeah,
and to pick up and move forward.
You got it.
So there are a lot of positive attributes besides the sport itself. The act of the sport. It's all the other things that go into it that, if taught well by a good coach,
that's right.
Really does help kids. I mean, it really does.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And particularly like the art of boxing. Boxing, while it is a sport, it also is a science as well. And what it teaches young kids and what have you, more than anything else, is the science and the art of that particular sport, because it actually is very, very structured.
And you're exercising on top of it, and you're learning how to eat right. You're not growing up eating McDonald's every single day. Now, I had friends that I grew up with that, maybe they didn't have both parents in the house, they didn't have a lot of money or whatever, so they wound up doing that, and they wound up becoming a victim of circumstance. But there are a lot of kids that grow up that just choose to eat like that, and then that just carries over for the rest of their life, and then they turn a certain age and they're like, oh shit, I'm about to get diabetes here, I have so many friends like that, when I was a kid. And this is one thing I've been wanting to say about Jimmy for so long, is that for there is no, the bond that you have with people that you know since you're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, like when you show all those old pictures of your friends, obviously there's nothing that can ever replace your bond. But I'll be honest with you, I feel like the older I get in life, I become closer with the people that I met older in life, because your criteria for friends starts to get narrowed down a lot more as you get older. And I feel like I spend more time with those people. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a special bond with the people I know for 25, 30 years. But to be honest with you, I wound up becoming closer with the people that I met later on in life.
Well, you know what? You know what? I'm the same way. You just said. Now the thing is, like Don Berlin knows, I got PTSD, so I talk about my past a lot.
Right. It's therapy.
So, and mostly all my friends with my story, all my friends are dead, and the ones that I ain't friendly with, they killed my friend.
Yeah.
So, my past is it's haunted by me in some way, but thank God, you know what? I have new friends. I got people like you. I talked. I got Joe. I got Pazzo. I got Don Berlin. I talked to. I got beautiful people in my life. I really do. I got beautiful people. I got Tommy Dage. I got Joe Murray. I got a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
And listen, I'm blessed in that way. I really am. And you know what? This is a platform that I never really thought I would have. I never thought I was going to have this platform. But you know what? Thank God I have it. And you know what? It's useful for all of us. You know what I mean? Because we could all get together. We could have a conversation. We could talk about topics. And it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it really
and
is. Jimmy. I mean, what you did here is just beyond, in comparison to all. And I'm not trying to put anybody down or anything. Everybody's got their thing, but a lot of these guys that do this thing, kind of a thing, they're just continually taking shots at other people. I mean, what the fuck? Don't even fucking bother with him anymore. You guys, I'm upsets the shit out of Jimmy. He's got a temper like I do. And believe me, if they were sitting in front of us, I'd probably put somebody in a hospital.
Pazzo,
I'm not kidding you.
Pazzo, if they were sitting in front of us, listen, it'd be a totally different ball game.
Yes, it would be. Then plus they probably wouldn't say shit.
Look. Even if they didn't say shit, it'd be a totally different ball game for sure. 100%.
Sure.
Believe me, on everything I love, it'd be a different ball game. Yeah. Because you know what? Yeah. Then the old Jimmy will come out. Because you know
That's what I'm saying.
All that yap, but I ain't taking that shit from them. Believe me.
I don't blame you. How can anybody take it? You don't have to take it. That's just the whole thing.
Tommy said it the best. He said they're idiots. Don't even pay attention to them. They're idiots.
You're right, Joey.
Tommy said it.
Right.
You're right, a lot of people.
Joey, it's like they get under your skin so much.
Yeah, I know.
Come on. If it's directed at you like that, you're like, what the? I mean, really.
Did you hear they come out?
It's completely over the top.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
Oh my God, Joe! I've heard some of it. It's nasty. Those fucking guys. Excuse my language, but I'm sorry.
You got to rise above it somehow.
You're right. You're right, Joey. You're right. So it's a two-edged sword.
A lot of people have asked me about because my world is all about data analytics and so on and so forth, and so they asked me, why is it that this particular platform has enjoyed such not only growth but success? Okay, I see the analytics for this platform all the time because I look at them partly because of I need to when I create the films I need to marry that against the analytics so that it resonates. It's not, believe me, I'm not picking images because I'm a genius. I'm doing it because of the analytics, and the analytics of the Bath Avenue platform is such that it's very unique amongst this particular genre. And here's the reason why. The loyalty rating for this platform is in the upper 90 percentile, which is astounding. In other words, the people who come here and listen return. So from YouTube's perspective, that's very important for them. That's
because there's a little bit of Jimmy in all of us. That's why there's a little bit of Jimmy in all of us.
So it has a high loyalty rating. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, if you look at the analytics of the people who come, it's highly regional. Okay, which means to say in the New York area where Jimmy comes from, his story resonates with that type of people, and that's an enormous metropolitan area. New York City is 8.9 million people.
That's
okay,
right.
you know, so his
Brooklyn
analytics
is the fourth largest. I don't mean to cut you off. Everybody forgets this. Brooklyn is the fourth largest city in this whole country.
It's basically
right.
a city inside of a city.
Yeah, this whole country. But the thing is that when you step outside of New York, and I want you to continue on, when you step outside of New York, and again, I've been living outside of New York since 2017. Everybody in their head has Times Square, New York. The people that live in Manhattan, 95% of them are not native New Yorkers. They are from different countries, and they are from different cities in the United States, and they are able to afford to live in Manhattan.
Yeah, wow.
I love Brooklyn.
And,
I
you
love
know,
Brooklyn.
and the third point I want to make about the analytics, and this again, this is the reason why this platform has grown so much, and that is the longevity of the visitor. So what I mean by that is, if you measure the people who started here and continually come back here over a long period of time, these are not people who are channel surfing. These are people who have been here for and keep coming back. Okay, so from YouTube's perspective, for monetization and for ranking and what have you, those three things, views, subscribers, obviously, and so on and so forth, loyalty and what have you, builds a very solid platform. This platform, I guarantee you, this time next year we'll have almost 100,000 subscribers.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
You know,
see,
like I said, there's a little bit of Jimmy in all of us. I'm telling you.
Right.
Everybody,
Yeah.
You know, I feel for Jimmy with all this.
And
Jimmy's
sincere. Jimmy's sincere when he has, you know, you can tell.
Yes.
You're talking to people, he's really sincere. I mean, he's not just, you know, on here just doing
you're right,
something,
Joey.
doing for views and
He's
stuff.
not
He's
just
sincere.
blowing smoke up everybody's ass.
No, he's
just like,
sincere.
it's like he's really real, you know. So
he's real, right? 100%.
So you know, those kinds of things resonate well with the viewing audience. That's why people
And this
keep coming
the
back.
thing. Here's the thing. You know, Don, we're both in a circle, and we know that Michael said he was going to come on Jimmy's show, and I'm in a circle. You're in a circle.
Yeah,
Michael, I'm saying to you, please come on. Jimmy's in an inner circle. Come on to his show.
Yeah.
We really want to see that. A lot of people in the inner circle want to see that. Jimmy, you know, he has a great show. You said you was going to come on. I just want to know when you're coming on, Michael. And I love you, brother. You know that. When are you coming on this show and bringing him on your show? Because it was supposed to happen.
Long backstory behind that.
But it has to happen. It has to happen.
I'm not going to get into it, but nonetheless.
But I'm just saying, I know you don't want to get into it. I'm just saying, we're the inner circle. We're just asking Michael, can you keep that promise? So, it's a promise.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure he'll come on sooner or later. I'm sure he's busy, you know. And look, this YouTube is funny sometimes. It really is. But you know what? Changing the subject.
Michael, and I want to see him on here. You know.
Yeah, but getting back to Tommy. Tommy's so right about the 95% that's in New York City. That's the thing. See, me, I'm born in Brooklyn Methodist Hospital. Okay,
I'm born in Methodist Hospital.
Yeah, I'm a native New Yorker. The people that are coming to New York now, look, you know what? I asked them, I said, where you from? They go like this, New York. They ain't born in New York. You know, they're from somewhere else. But that's the difference that changed in this country.
That's right. You're 1,000% right, because the thing is that they think when they say, "Oh, I'm from New York," although you may have went to Manhattan and you went to NYU or Columbia, you went to one of these colleges. That doesn't mean you've been living and paying taxes in New York City for generations. The way how I know my family has, I know Jimmy's family has, and again, that's the beauty of New York City. But don't say you're a full-fledged New Yorker unless you've been living here, paying taxes here for, I don't know, at least 5-10 years, you know, and start contributing to the economy. That's a big thing too, is that a lot of the people that are coming into New York, they don't care about contributing to the economy. They don't care about going to a baseball game and spending money and doing things like that. They really don't. You know, it's like, well, where can I buy real estate that's going to be good for me and my family? If I have other people that I want to bring into New York and you know, try to take up an entire neighborhood, and it's been that mindset for a long time now.
Well, you know, Tommy, you know, I'll tell you, it breaks my heart to see what has happened to that great city.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
that's why I
it
left.
really does. And you know, it started obviously with De Blasio and his administration, what have you, just basically destroyed the city, took it apart plank by plank, and it's going to take generations of repair to try and pull that city back together
There's
again.
there's certain cities in America. I hate to say it, but I do think there's certain cities in America. I don't know if there's any turning back. And me and Jimmy were talking about it the last
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we were
Oh,
talking
my
a couple of
God.
months
It's
ago,
tragic.
and Jimmy was saying, "How much is your toll?" You were telling me $500 a month. That's what I told you. It's impossible. Even if you are making
It averages 100 a week.
right.
Jesus.
Man,
Wow.
Even if you're making good money, it's very, very difficult for you to get ahead if you are living in
100%.
New York City.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
You can't get ahead over here unless you're making big money.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
everything over here is expensive. And you know, the inflation on the food, the inflation on the gas. But
Oh,
Joe
my God.
Murray, thank you for the 1999. New York schools
thanks,
are
Joey.
paying. Let me read this. New York schools are currently paying for young children to be subjected to drag queen story hour in school. I believe our kids would be better served with a Jimmy Calandra story hour.
Yeah, for sure.
Right,
Activity. And you know
right,
what?
Joe Murray.
I agree with him. Because you know what?
Joe Murray, you hit it on the spot.
I want to teach these kids about reality, about
No doubt
falling
about
down,
it.
getting back up, and you know what? Moving forward and doing the right thing in life. Because you know what? Where I've been in my life, I don't want any kid to be.
Well, see, Jimmy, I said for you to do a tour. Remember, I told you should do a school tour and set it up with these schools and talk to the kids. They always let people that reform their life come in, their real life, to talk to the kids, especially when they get to that age where
That's a
they
good
start
idea.
making decisions. You know what I mean?
Good idea. Good idea.
You would be great at that.
Now, is this drag queen story hour? That's a joke.
That's an accurate.
No, that can't be real.
That's an
true.
accurate story. It was posted in the New York Post. If
That's
you Google
real.
it,
I mean,
Yes.
really drag queen, real,
Yes.
a real drag queen.
they have them
My
coming
kid
and
wouldn't
reading
be.
the
My
kids.
kid wouldn't be doing that. I would be at that
In-
school
in the
tomorrow.
schools.
If that was my kid having to
But
be
aren't they
subjected
taking
to that.
away sports? Aren't they taking away sports in school? Where's the money for that?
Oh my
Well,
God,
yeah,
the drag queen! Come on, man, give me a break.
there's well, I mean, this is the sad thing. The sad thing is that they don't have as many kids enrolling in sports either, because one of the other things you were talking about with Larry Romano too, forget they're on video games all of the time. That's one. And then the other thing is, I know people like social media. You need to be a certain age, in my opinion, for you to have a social media account.
People gonna
Because
need to get licensed for it now.
but it's messing up people's brains, and there's not as much interest for kids to even enroll in sports.
Jimmy, can I do a shout out to my good friend of yours too, Gary Monteleone? Gary, I'm praying for you. I love you, my brother. I want you to keep fighting, keep the struggle going, and just remember, you got friends who are hoping for you, praying for you, keeping you. God bless you.
We love you,
Wow,
Gary.
what's going on?
Feel
Yes,
better,
Gary,
Gary.
we love
God
you,
bless
man.
you, Gary.
Gary,
Yes.
God
I
bless.
love you, man.
And Gary, thanks for coming in.
Gary always send me a message, like he'd inbox me with something, always encouraging me. Just a great guy, man.
He is. So, Tommy, you know, to your point, I mean, you're absolutely right. And it's very perceptive too. I mean, it really is, on you know, on where things are at and what have you.
All my friends and family are still there, and I still, you know, I work in finance. I have a lot of clients in there, so I know in terms of certain aspects of the economy, you know, I'm very well in tune as to what goes on there. But I read these stories sometimes, and I'm like, how was I so immune to it when I was little? You know, and I'm sure Jimmy still is a whole different story. But even 20, 25 years ago, you wouldn't hear some of the stuff that's going on now. People are just going up to random strangers, elderly people, punching them, throwing them in front of
I
trains.
can't believe that crap.
It's
That's
insane.
happening everywhere. Yep.
So Tommy, let me ask you a question.
It starts at home. All that stuff starts at home when you're a kid.
Where do you think we're going to be? Where do you think we're going to be?
Exactly.
Where do you think we're going to? Where do you think we're going to be in 6 months? Are we going to be all broke? Am I ever going to be able to retire, or is it going to be the poorhouse?
Well,
I heard there's going to be a crash. I heard there's going to be a crash.
I think Trump is going to run again, and he's going to save everybody. That's what.
Hey, Don, tell me about this, because I heard
that still wouldn't be
there's
till
going to be
2020. That still wouldn't be till 2024. Even if that was the solution.
Right
now,
But
it's the only one.
Yeah.
Don, you got to let us know.
Because this guy, as a president, he stinks.
Right.
He's a moron.
That's true.
Moron.
Hey, Don, are we headed for the biggest crash we ever seen?
Fellas.
Yes.
Moron.
Well, I think
we start stocking up on food? Should we start stocking up on toilet paper? I mean, what is the real deal going to happen in the next 3-4 years, 5 years? You think we should?
Oh, my
God.
God.
I'm asking Don, because Don, he probably got some good information on this. Don, just exclusively for the Jimmy Calandra's audience, should we all get those starts to getting those meals, stacking them away? Toilet paper, what? Let us know.
I defer to Tommy.
It's not a bad idea.
Well,
Tommy. Tommy. That's not good. That's not good, though, Don. That's not good. That's not good. You deferred it. You know what I mean? That's telling me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot more experience than me, but what I will say is that I think that the interest rate environment is going to be high for at least the rest of this year, if not all of next year. That's a minimum. I do think that the unemployment numbers are going to go up a bit. There are certain aspects of real estate that I think are not going to be as valuable any longer, such as office real estate, especially in major cities throughout the country. I mean, you even see in New York City, like Goldman Sachs, Citibank, a lot of these major financial institutions are moving to states like Texas, moving to Delaware, all these other places outside of New York City, because they're realizing that in order for them to attract the type of candidates that they want, that they have to hire remotely or at least offer hybrid work. So there's a lot of that. I feel like renting, you're going to have a lot more people that are going to be renting as opposed to buying. All the stuff with the student loan crisis, they're talking about loan forgiveness for a lot of the kids that have the student loans. But if you have a student loan through a private financial institution, you are not going to be eligible for your student loan to get forgiven whatsoever. And then what about those people? I had student loans. Luckily, I was in the position that I made good money and I paid all of them back, right? But is anybody going to reimburse me the money that paid me back?
Guys, let me ask you a question. I don't mean to interrupt you, but as far
go
as
ahead.
This free schooling, all this stuff, take a good look at that border down there, and you're going to see what's going to happen when this next wave of people come flying over that border, and they're just letting people in, and they're giving them licenses, and they're giving them money, and they're giving them benefits and free college.
Yeah,
that my kid can't even get it, and he's living here and born and brought in the United States, and he can't get that. What do you call that? With this as a president?
Here's my take. Here's my take on because it's an issue that I have to deal with.
Man, I can't take it.
President's a clown.
With respect to the southern border security. So
the security above all.
Well, that's the way I look at it. There is definitely no question. There's a major economic cost to having no border. Okay, major.
Oh my God,
it's devastating. But that's not what I worry about more than anything else. What I worry about is the fact that when you have no security at the border and you allow drugs in, and you allow terrorists in, and you allow enablers and facilitators, people who are sleepers, that come in through places like Venezuela and Cuba and what have you. Okay, that is a dangerous situation. We are the only country in the world, that has a circumstance where there is a unenforced border. No other country in the world does what we do. I'm not going to get into the politics of it. I'm just going to say the facts, okay? The facts are that there is no way in which either the military, the intelligence community, DOD, Homeland Security can guarantee that they are correct 100% of the time. We have to be correct 100% of the time. Okay?
Damn right. Damn right.
And they only have to be correct once. And all that you have to have is someone from that area come in through the border, come up into New York, Detroit, Chicago, into a major hub, transportation hub, one time, okay?
That's it.
With biochemical bomb, biochemicals,
a dirty bomb, anything like that.
Anything of that nature, and blow it inside of a facility, all right? That, and causing major damage. Not only, of course, loss of life, but the psycho horror associated with that.
Of course, it's the fear factor again. Here we go again.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know.
Yeah, right. So
and then what is Biden? What's he going to say then? He's the one responsible. You can say what you want to say, appropriating the politics into it, but he is the one that's doing it. It's him. It's him that shut down the pipelines. It's him that done this, man. Everything.
Look, there are
he reversed all of Trump's policies. That's what he did. The first goddamn fucking day he was in there. Just about. Excuse my language, fellas. I'm sorry.
And
I just can't help it.
When you cavitate policy, okay, when you take national policy at a national power level and turn it upside down for whatever, there are going to be consequences.
Oh my God.
I get why. I understand the theory and the logic of why certain people want to change those kinds of policies. I get the reason. However, the consequence will be when we are wrong one time. And I'm telling you, it needs to be one time.
I agree. Yeah. There you go. That's the answer.
Yeah.
One time.
Right. I'll be right back.
Hey, they took these gas. Why couldn't they just cut the pipeline in 10 years from now when we have more electric cars or something? Why do it now when we need this? This is killing us, man. And the economy just came back. Economy just started coming back, and now they hired everything's going up.
But here's the thing that nobody has ever thought about with regard to these electric cars and batteries and things like that are lithium batteries. Okay. And I just throw this out for the listeners to think about. This has been well discussed on another channel here on YouTube, but do you know what the temperature is of when a lithium battery burns in a New York building? 1,600 degrees. Okay, it burns at that rate. All right. It takes 400 gallons of water to cool down a single lithium battery. Can you imagine what happens when you have all these cars banging into one another and the lithium batteries blow?
Wow.
So
I never thought of
the great chase to electric cars and what have you, nobody is considering the possibility about what happens when these batteries blow for whatever reason. Okay, explosion, overheating, malfunction, whatever it might be. Do you know how many hazmat units are going to have to be brought in order to put out all of these so-called electric car fires and what have you? Again, it goes to your point, with respect to, changing national policy. You have to consider the consequences of that.
Yeah. Hey, Steven Schoenberg, shout out to you. He's on there from the Inner Circle. Steven, love you, brother. He was on there, Jimmy. You put his comment up.
Yes.
Steven was on there, Don.
Yeah, what's going on is that this country is being destroyed from the inside.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going back.
But what about the school shooting? John, what is the security measurement they need to start taking for these public schools? I've always said security, they need to invest more in security. What is the solution for that? Other than, okay, we can have the doors, those doors that go in and out, but Where's a solution that they can come up with to protect these kids in these schools?
There is a
What could
solution,
they find?
but it's politically untenable.
You have to have
but there
armed
is,
guards.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's a number of things you could do. Okay, for example, you can limit. It's called cattle rolling. In other words, you push everybody through a single point of entrance, and that entrance is guarded, as well as having metal detectors and other types of devices that detect the presence of weapons, and so forth. So here's the best analogy I can give you. If TSA is capable of ensuring that people do not get on airplanes with guns and weapons, do you think that it could be also done with schools? The answer is clearly yes, but you have to have the political will to do that. We had 9/11, so therefore it birthed the DSA and the TSA, and they were, they have the political backing to do that, obviously, because of what happened with 9/11. But from a technical standpoint, from a policy standpoint, protecting the schools is easy. I mean, it really is. No more complex than the way in which we protect airports assets or airplane assets. Same theory.
They can add a tax. They can create a tax bill for that. I'm sure every American would want to let that pass because it protects the kids. 100%.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are, as I say, there's a political and an economic calculus to every national policy. But make no mistake about it, this is a problem that can be solved.
This is the problem. Okay. You know what the problem is?
It needs to be a number one problem.
Listen, the problem in this country is, in all honesty, these politicians suck. That's
right.
The problem.
Exactly what Larry said. He said
we need some real politicians coming in office.
Same way how I feel.
They're not for the people.
They all have a hidden agenda
themselves. They're for filling their pockets.
Well,
absolutely.
There's got to be a reason that Nancy Pelosi and her husband, when they came into office, were worth a few $1 million. And today they're worth several $100 million. That's not because they save well.
And that's every politician.
But they also know
in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also know when things are going to get sold. They know when there's an airport. They probably know when there's going to be highway structure getting put in, infrastructure, when there's going to be more gas stations there. So that they know they got a drop on where to invest at, where to invest their money. And I believe a lot of these politicians know because they have these backroom talks going on for years. And they finally let it pass. And they're already ready ahead of the game buying up some of the properties. Because I bet you a lot of their money is coming from property investment. I guarantee you if you look into it. Or stock investment, but I think it's more property investment. They look a lot more on stock stuff, inside training. So I think what they did was a lot of them, they get a word on, oh yeah, we're going to get infrastructure over here. We're going to develop land over here later on. They work on that and they get these lands, these properties before they're developed. And then they make a ton selling them when they start developing.
So Tommy, let me go back to my question to you originally. So where do you think economically, just strictly from the economic side, what do you see the present day economic picture?
I do think that there's certain industries that are going to eventually get phased out. I really do believe that. But if it's not tech or go ahead.
Well, though my other question, the main question I was going to ask you is, what impact do you think it will have on the midterm elections? Do you think it is that particular issue, the economics, the inflation, whatever, is it really going to be the number one issue that compels people?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I do feel like unfortunately, there is a very large segment of the population that is supports receiving assistance from the government. And I feel like, unfortunately, if we continue to do that over and over again, that encourages people not to really value and create work ethic, especially in our younger generation, if they feel like every year they're just getting, another check. But in terms of where I think it'll go as far as the political parties, I do feel like there's a lot of people that initially supported Biden that are thinking of going the other way, but I don't know if they're necessarily like, well, we're going to go back to the way how it was with Trump because of his personality. Kind of like what you saw in Virginia, right? In Virginia, the main issue as to why that guy Youngkin beat Terry McAuley was because of the issue with the schools. And Virginia is a swing state. And something happened in Northern Virginia, Loudoun County, where there was unfortunately a student got, I don't know the exact terms of the case, but something happened that happened to a female student that was not disclosed to the student's parents. And because of that, it turned into a major issue. And there were certain comments that the incumbent governor made that significantly hurt his chances to get reelected. And that's the reason why the guy Youngkin, who is a Republican, wound up winning, and now he's in control of that swing state, which is Virginia. And Northern Virginia, the economy there is very, very strong, very strong. So I do feel like that is an example of what may be coming down the pike throughout other areas of the country.
Because Virginia is definitely a bellwether state in a lot of respects, especially economically. And not only did Youngkin win the governorship, remember, he flipped both the House and the Senate in Virginia. So it was a clean sweep. And people vote generally breadbasket, kitchen table issues, okay? And if I were to look at forget about the polls, they're not very reliable, whatever, but the data analytics surrounding the responsivity and the numbers of people who are stepping up to be registered, the people who are actually going out to vote and what have you, in the primaries and what have you. And that's any indicator, okay? And combined with the fact that the country is very divided and very angry right now, this is my own personal opinion, and that is that the economic factor, the financial factor, your industry, will be the locomotive that changes, in my opinion, both not only the House and the Senate. I don't think I think both are going to roll, but I also think that a lot of the down ticket people are gonna roll too. They're even talking, which is just unbelievable to me, that the governor of New York's that race is in play. Whoever would have thought of something like that?
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Joe Murray brought a good point. I'm sorry, cut you real fast. Joe Murray had just brought a good point up. The last couple of comments online he posted, he said it's going to be another third party coming to play. And he's right, because I'm telling you, I'm talking to some of the laborers, workers out there. There's rumble that they want to create a labor party of workers, blue class workers across America get together and start their own party because they're the ones getting affected the most. So Joe Murray had brought that up. Joe Murray, that's a good point. That is how, and I'm telling you, there's rumbling about that.
Listen, guys, Joe, Don, Tom, thank you guys for coming on. I'm on here 2 hours. Listen, hey,
we gotta go.
I appreciate the conversation. It was a great conversation. We'll do it again soon. Everyone, listen, have a good night, and I'll see you
good night.
Sunday or something.
Don, Tom,
take care. God bless
you guys.
All of you guys out there, we love you all out there.
Tommy, I'm going to give Jimmy my number. He has my number, but what have you. Send him an email and get it from him.
I'm going to email. Yeah, I got to email Jimmy. Yeah, I will. That sounds great. All right. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Take care, Joe and Jimmy.
Okay.
Good night, brother.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
Joe.
night, brother. Hey, thanks a lot, Jimmy.
You got it.
I got something for you, Jimmy. I got something for you right here.
All right, just call me.
I got something.
The streets will never make
well, guys, listen, it was a nice conversation. It was good to see everybody. We all chopped it up nice, talked about some politics, talked about some current events, what's going on in the world today. Thank you all for the super chats. Joe Murray, JD World, and all the other people who sent a super chat. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. And Pazzo, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being a gentleman. Joe Murray, you're the best. I got to give you a call. Thank you for all you do. And Boston J, Live and Let Live, my moderators, thanks for showing up. And to all you people out there, you know what? Thank you so much for the love, the support you give me. It's very kind of you. I appreciate it. And until my next video, I'll see you guys soon. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Good night, guys. Bye. The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back.